Laila spotted the HOA president, Bob Page, exiting the building. He paused under the portico to speak to a woman in trousers and an emblazoned shirt, holding a clipboard. She jotted down whatever Bob was telling her and returned inside. Forrest held on to Alton, who had Laila's hand. The boys extended from her side, vibrating with curious energy, but curtailed by the gathering crowd. They made no move to break away to explore on their own. Laila waved to Bob, and he joined her on the sidewalk, where knots of neighbors stood, murmuring. "A bad day for the research club, I guess," he said. Laila was dumbstruck. Only one member of her research club lived in this building, and Laila had seen her the day before. They spoke about the meeting to be held that Monday. Laila was scheduled to host, and they outlined the agenda together. She gaped at Bob. "She was all alone," Bob said. Laila squeezed her eyes shut, but the boys were tugging on her hand, and she couldn't keep her balance. She blinked open to find Bob with a knowing expression. "Billy," she whispered. "Oh, you hadn't heard," he said. "What hospital is this? Where are they taking her?" An ambulance stood at the curb outside Billy's condo. The red lights rotated rhythmically. The siren had been turned off. "It won't be right away," Bob said, watching her face. "Was it a fall? They can't move her?" Laila asked. "Laila," he said. "They're waiting for the coroner." No, it can't be." Forrest and Alton moved in closer to her, each folding a hand around a fistful of the fabric of her slacks. Alton slipped a thumb into his mouth. Laila looked up to the curtained window of Billy's second-floor bedroom. Her small condo was on the street side and was noisy, Billy complained. Too noisy to sleep late, so she ended up napping in the afternoon. Research club meetings were bright and early Monday mornings, mainly because it was Billy's prime time. "Oh no," Laila repeated. If the messenger were another neighbor, not Bob Page, they would have embraced, leaning on each other for a moment of oblivion, of erasure of all the considerations a sudden death forces upon the survivors. But in the recent past, Bob had used his HOA position to ask Laila questions about David's travel schedule, which discomfited her. "Quick," Bob said. "A heart attack, they think." Laila looked up once more at Billy's window, taking in the whole building and its landscaped surroundings. So much of what Billy loved about Florida was right here at her doorstep. The tall palms that flanked the portico were mirrored in the graceful double row across the street. They curtained the Laguna Shores lane from the busy arterial and made her think of dancers. Spidery ferns and birds of paradise flanked the building,